allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, we'll go ahead and start. I would ask that we make an adjustment on the agenda. We're going to have item number 6 move up to be right after the approval of the minutes. So item number 1 is approval of the minutes from the February 19th commission meeting.
I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes from last commission meeting.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We will move and skip on to item number 6, which is consideration and possible approval of a lease agreement for hangar space between Utah State University and Carbon County for Aviation Maintenance Technician Program. We're going to have Jade Powell address that.
Hi, good evening. Jade Powell with the Southeastern Regional Development Agency. I'm operating as kind of grant administrator on the project between Carbon County and USU. So we finally came and got a lease agreement on that new hangar building that's being built there at the airport to house the Aviation Maintenance Technician Program. The facility has come along great. It's scheduled to be open, and the facility, the hangar itself, to be done mid-May, pending no big delays, and then USU is hoping to get students enrolled by fall 2025. And so, again, pending FAA certifications and getting their coursework accomplished. So this hangar is to how, so the hangar will be owned and managed by Carbon County, and the leasee to the hangar facility will be USU, particularly the AMT program. And so this, just some small details of the lease agreement. It'll be for 10 years, and that is to cover the match money that USU is contributing to the project and the actual construction. And I think with that, it's pretty straightforward. We've had your attorneys been in contact both with USU and the EDA's attorneys reviewing the lease agreement. So it's all in accordance with both what USU requires and also what the Economic Development Administration requires.
And I do appreciate your help on that. That's been a long chain of emails back and forth.
It's only taken about 8 months.
Red lines, adjustments. So thank you for that. One thing too, that part of the agreement, this is a 10-year lease agreement, and that USU is going to pay up front on. They're going to pay a lump sum of $500,000 to the county. Talking to Seth, that money will be put into an airport fund. Basically, it will not go into the general fund for any other projects. So, and then at the end of the 10 years, that money that was applied would go towards the purchase of the building. And the EDA has spelled that out pretty clearly in their contract. And if USU wants to buy it, they can. If not, it could go to the county. We just have to notify the EDA basically what we're going to do moving forward.
Yeah, and the reason you have to notify the EDA is because they'll have they like their strings attached for the useful life of the project, which I think they deem as either 20 or 25 years for this project.
I think it'll hopefully be there longer than that.
I agree.
Is there any questions for Jade or any comments on this project?
I don't have any idea. The building that will house the students and the instruction that goes on there is a significant improvement to the airport area. The university's a good partner out there right now, and the funds to build that building, most of them are grant funds, with the addition of the money that the USU will bring with this lease agreement that will help pay for the building up front. So good job.
Thank you.
Thanks for rounding up money.
Yeah, grant money from EDA. It's a good project because we have federal dollars mingled with USU's dollars and with state dollars, a grant for $1 million from the governor's office of economic opportunity as well.
So do you want to just lay out how that how much money came out and from which pot, just for
Yeah, I can.
information's sake?
Yeah, I'm recalling it from memory, so I'm just going to kind of use
Yeah,
round
no,
numbers.
you did good.
It's 1.3 million from the Economic Development Administration, 500,000 from that's broken out, 600,000 from the Rural Communities Opportunity Grant, and 400,000 from the Industrial Assistance Account that GoYo manages, and then it's also matched with 7,500 from CERTA just to do the project management of it.
Yeah.
But those are all the contributors.
Well, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the lease agreement for hangar space between Utah State University and Carbon County for Aviation Maintenance Technician Program.
And I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jade.
Thanks, really appreciate your help with all this.
Yeah, thank you.
Commissioners, we'll go back to item number 2, the Employee of the Month, Kellie Payne.
Good afternoon. Our Employee of the Month for March is Danelle Robson. She works at our Emergency Services Department. Danelle has been with Carbon County since 2016. She just celebrated 9 years with us in February. Danelle was nominated by her coworker, Brandy Davis, who was unable to make it, but sent over her nomination. And it says, Danelle is always caring, willing to help, and goes above and beyond. Danelle's job entails a lot of different responsibilities that don't always get seen or noticed by others. Danelle can often be found making sure that everything is running smoothly and in order. Danelle is the first one to check on others and make sure to make sure they are okay and to see if she can do anything to help make their day better or easier. If anyone deserves recognition or Employee of the Month, it is Danelle. She is the person who brightens your day and makes work a better place. So Danelle, if you will come on up. Her boss is also sick and can't be here, but Sheriff Wood would like to say some words.
So no one's more deserving of this than Danelle. She's very thorough with her job, and she's so easy and just a good employee. I mean, she comes to work. You can ask her to do anything. She takes on every task with a thorough and just detailed approach. One of the things I like to brag about Danelle, we had a kind of a mess with our quartermaster's room of stuff that we issue out to SWAT and stuff. She took that task on early in her career and organized it. It's a nice place now. And she's just a great employee. I just want to say that.
You know, they recently had the Oscars in California. I guess this is kind of it, right? You got paparazzi all over. So. All right. Thanks, Danielle. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Item number 3 is a Super Service Award. Tina Grange.
Hello, Commissioners. So our Super Service Award winner for the month of March is Terry Barney with Farlino's Cafe and Price. I'm going to go ahead and read her nomination and then invite her to come up and receive her award. How doesn't Terry go above and beyond? She is the heart of Farlino's every morning, from her huge hugs and her bright smiles to her funny jokes and great personality. We go in like wrecking balls every morning, and she is always ready for us. She usually has our coffee ready and hot and sitting on our table with the sugar and creamer that we love. Not only does she do this for us, I know she does this for everyone else. She's such a selfless person and never wants accolades, but she absolutely deserves them. Terry has served us all in the Carbon Corridor for many years, and she never has strayed from her amazing customer service and quirky attitude. The AJB crew loves you so much, Terry, and no one deserves this more than you. Terry Barney. Truly, I will just say, I also go to Farlino's quite a bit, and Terry is absolutely, I'm like, is Terry working? She's absolutely great. My son is a Price City police officer, and they are so good and kind to the first responders, and he loves Terry. He always says, I really like her mom. She's so nice. She takes such great care of us. So You definitely deserve this.
Well, thank you.
Do you want to say anything?
I'm sure.
Go ahead. It's your spotlight. Go ahead.
Just thanks, everybody. I just really like good, honest people, and I'm surrounded by them all the time. And so I have way too much fun at work. I appreciate you putting up with me. And I just wanted to say thanks to my daughter, Sonia, and Mark. They're the original owners of Balance Rock. They put me to work there, and I learned what extreme waitressing was all about. And I actually thrive on extreme waitressing and good people. So thanks. And I do love y'all.
Congratulations, Terry. Thank you. Item number 4 is consideration and possible approval of the 2025 Rural County Grant Funding. Shanny Wilson.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to report on the 2025 Rural County Grant Funding. So just a little bit of background. For the last, since I've been in this position, 3 years, we've received funding from the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity. It's called the Rural County Grant Funding. And as long as we're doing everything on our part and reporting properly, we get this funding. So that's something we've been doing every year. And I have a great economic development board, community economic development board that gets together and we talk about all of these applications that come in. So there's an application process. Local businesses can apply for funding to help their business grow, develop, whatever that may be. It can be purchasing equipment, material. It can be an expansion. It can be, we pride ourselves on workforce, offering jobs and things like that. So the 2025 funding came through. We get $200,000. We had $2,000 left over from the previous year. So we have a little over $200,000 that we were able to distribute this time around. So just to give you a highlight of the applications that came in, we had 24 applications received and 14 of those were approved. And of those 14, 6 were fully funded, but those were smaller asks. So so the public knows, the ask this year was a little over $550,000 for $200,000 worth of funding. I will say that the board is very generous and they like to spread the wealth and they want to give to businesses and projects that make sense and that will help the community grow and will help the businesses grow. So I'm very proud of the work that we do and the board does. Just here's a couple examples. I'll just go through some of those that we funded just so you guys are aware. We had CDE Property Management. They received $5,000 to help not purchase a recovery home, but rent. It could be rent or purchase a recovery home, and in price and help with renovations. We had DDMK. They're out in Helper. They received $25,000 to help with the comprehensive fire suppression system, so they can continue their art workshops and have people come and stay and learn and grow in their facility. We gave Flawless Sheeting $10,000 to help with an expansion because they are outgrowing their space. So they've received funding in the past as well. Helper Saturday Vibes received $6,000 to help expand vendor spaces, update signage, purchase tables, and all of the things that they need for that great community event that is held throughout the summer in Helper. Kilpatrick Fine Art received $18,000 to help with an HVAC implementation and gravel to enhance parking. She owns an art gallery that's open to the public, one of the few on Helper Main Street. She also sells merchandise, and you can go in and watch her do her artwork at any time when she's open. We helped Meaningful Minds with some building upgrades and with such as flooring and some cameras in their facility. They have grown. This is one that has done remarkable work here in the county. They started with, I want to say 20 students or 20 kids, and now they have upwards, I want to say 40. They've hired over 10 employees for this facility, and it is a daycare, / learning facility for the youth. She's done amazing work. Let's see, a couple more. Ori Enterprises, they're out on Ridge Road. They're a new company. We helped fund them a few years ago to get on their feet. They've grown and expand. They now need a laser cutter machine, but they've also hired about 10 people out in their facility. So job growth is huge when it comes to the rural county grant. Proline Coating, they're a facility in Wellington that started a year ago with 1 employee, and now they have 11 employees in their facility, and they have so much work that they've outgrown their space. So they need to add an additional 100 by 120 space to their facility. RNA Market in Helper, they also want to do an expansion. So they were funded $15,000 for that. Recolab, they are in, where are they in, Larry? East Carbon? Kenilworth, I'm sorry. They're in Kenilworth, and he is going to be producing some boarding house style rooms for rent. So that will help with some housing. Sign Edge received $25,000 for a new flatbed digital printer. They do amazing work in the community. We're funding the Eastern Utah Economic Summit this year for a Carbon County winner. It's a pitch competition that they do every year, and we're going to give $3,000 to a winner. But that business or company must be in Carbon County. The Coyotes Well received $10,000 to help expand their space in Wellington and build a ADA bathroom. And last but not least, West Coast Show Support is doing a whole bunch of construction down in their basement. They're doing multiple rooms down there. They've done quite a bit, but they have quite a ways to go, and they're funding $10,000 from the Rural County Grant. So on that note, I'd like to invite our board chair up here, Lane Miller. He would like to say a few words.
Hi, Commissioners. How are you?
Elaine.
It's nice to come and talk to you and report something good. Sometimes when I'm here, I feel like I'm facing the principal. But this is one of those times when I was called to the principal's office because I have something good to tell you. We have a great board. It's been a pleasure for me to be on the board for a number of years. It took us a little bit to figure out how to do our job, how to decide where the money was going to go. It's nice to have money to give away. Seems like you always get attention and praise when you have money. You find out who likes you and who doesn't. But our board has been really, really diligent in developing the process and then making sure that we have money for large businesses. I'm always fighting for the little guy, the guy on Main Street who's just getting started, and so we have a good representation on the board. And I want to thank you for the opportunity and tell you this is one of those projects that is working well and it makes all of us look good. And I appreciate the effort. Thank you.
Thank you, Lane. Can I take a second and add? I sit on the board with Lane and Zach Kanakis and John Richens. Who am I missing? Orrin Stainbrook. The value of the several years that this has been available to us has been significant. Prior to what's going on now, the local businesses had to apply to the state Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity for this funding, and it rarely happened. And so there was an effort on rural part. We were pushing for the governor's office to actually just send money to the rural counties to let us work to find the best places for those grant dollars that are available each year. And I think it's been significant. The tax base has increased from these projects. So we receive more in property tax value. And then the number of people that have been employed is well over 100 now who were not employed prior to having the help that these dollars have given to businesses. So it's been a good thing. And Lane, thank you for chairing that board, and Shanny's the workhorse, so.
She makes us look good.
Yeah. Yep, so thanks Shanny too.
I will say that one thing that the board requires is for each business who receives funding to come and actually present to the board and talk about what they've done. And it's amazing to see the work that they've done and the jobs that this grant produces. And I'll just say one more thing, because I could go on and on. We had the governor's office down here about a month ago, and we were in a meeting, and Ryan Starks looked me right in the eye and he says, if you had one wish for the county, what would it be? And I said, more rural county grant money. So fingers crossed, I'm going to keep pushing for more money.
Shanny, would you take a minute and explain how, or Lane, the money that is available, what do we require from a business in order for them to receive any funding from the grant money?
I'll go and then you correct me.
Okay.
We require several things. You know, the big things are an improvement somehow to our local economy, whether it's added employees, added taxes, some of those kinds of things. But we also have some other things that we require on the grant, and I'll let Shanny tell you about that. But it's always to improve the economics for the county and for the area.
And it can also go towards like workforce development and housing projects, as long as it's not like one single housing project. So, you know, we've funded some housing, projects in the past as far as CERTA and their mutual self-help ground up construction program, offering tools and things and supplies. But yeah, they apply online. It's on our website. We really start push and advertise, midsummer. And yet there's 3 sections, really just talks about the project itself and the impact it's going to make in the community. It talks about, what else as far as funding that they're looking for. We kind of want a rundown of what the funding costs will be. We also want to know, how many jobs is this going to produce and what's it going to do for the company and for the community. So
talk about the 50-50 match.
It is a 50-50 match. So, and the company or the business actually will pay for the upfront costs. And then once that's complete, they will submit proof of payment to myself. I'll make sure, all is said and done. And then I go through the process of having the county cut them a check for 50%. So if it's a $10,000 project, they'll pay for that project up front, which would be, if they were approved for $10,000, it would be, they're looking at a $20,000 project, and then we reimburse them 10. So, and I'm in the process of sending out award letters and doing all of that. So that's
Once a year, Shanny calls me, and I'll sit in her office and make the phone calls to the people who have been awarded the grant. And you talk about being in Christmas. When they hear that they received the money, it is so fun. It's the highlight of my year. Just, you get tears and thank yous, and it's just a fabulous experience.
Well, yeah, in looking over this list of 24, it appears to me that it's a very balanced approach. It seems that not just people in Helper or Price or wherever, it's a good surrounding and a good mix of industry as well. The ones that were not granted money, I would agree with. I think the board was pretty thorough in their job here. So thank you. And when would the next time be that companies would be able to look for assistance with this grant? Is it January?
So the deadline is actually December 1st of this year. So I will really start pushing for people to apply mid-July is usually when I start sending out emails and go online and open it up and make all this recommendation, or make all the changes, I should say, that I need to. So
if you weren't fortunate this time around.
Yep. July, August, watch for an email from me.
There you go.
Because I send them all out. So, okay.
Any other questions, comments?
I have no questions. If there's none, I'll make the motion that we approve the 2025 rural county grant funding that's been recommended here.
I'll second it.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
both.
Appreciate the board as well. Thank them. We'll go to item number 5, consideration and possible approval of resolution number 2024-04, appointment to Friends of the Carbon County Children's Justice Center Board for 2025.
That's
We
a
have
long
Shelley.
statement, right?
Oh, Shelley.
I'm good. How are the commissioners?
Great.
Great. Awesome. We received another application from Rebecca Driggs, and I have met her. I've also met the Driggs Mortgage Company, so they're great people, and we're excited to welcome Rebecca on our board. As long as the commission is good with that, we're good with that, and I think we're full. I think that's great.
That's awesome.
Really awesome. Yeah.
Well, we'll see how these guys.
Yeah,
you
I don't
never
want to
know.
persuade you or influence you in any way.
Well, I'm good with it.
Great. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve Rebecca Driggs to the Friends of Carbon and Emery Children's Justice Center Board for 2025.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, commissioners.
Glad to hear you have a full board as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, me too.
So good things.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. And I'll entertain one more motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.